Happy Bungo Day, and welcome to Pieces of Pap, Episode 3 for the week of June 17th, 2024. My name's Jack Coburn. I'm the editor-in-chief of Alsatian Productions, a new YouTube channel devoted to video gaming. We're going to look at 35 games this week. Yes, people, it's been a giga-ton of games. Steam Next Fest ended this week, and there are a lot of games released into early access and into just regular old access. So let's get started. For Monday, June 17th, JanduSoft and Coronado released their next title in the Hard Tales series, Hard Tales the Beggar, which can be found on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. A physical edition from Desora Games will come out later this year with a box set for the PS5. Players will step into a realistic post-apocalyptic world in which they have to deal with puzzles and combat to battle an ever-evolving creature that threatens the future. This creature will utilize a chaos simulation engine from Unreal Engine 5, and the game will use physics-based combat to defeat this creature. If this game gives you nightmares, perhaps you want to go stop by Vampire Therapist for the PC. Littleback Games releases this new game in which players become the therapist for vampires. This looks like an exciting premise. I don't know why, but I always enjoy watching fantasy creatures and scary monsters do mundane things. Do you ever wonder what it would be like if you saw a mummy going food shopping? Or, for this matter, a vampire having to sit on a therapist couch and talk about their feelings? Created in conjunction with real therapists, this game features voice acting from Critical Role's Matthew Mercer, Cirrus Namadi, Sarah Grayson, and newcomer Kylie Clark. If you're unsure about buying this game, you can try a demo ahead of it. Moving on to Tuesday. Crime Boss Rockay City comes out for the PC. 505 Games and In-Game Studios release their Steam port of FPS organized crime game. This game came out on consoles last year, and all the DLC packs will be included in the Steam port. More content will come out this year as well, so keep an eye out for that. If this game fascinates you, there could be more on this list, so stay tuned. Moving on. Do you like playing basketball on a video game system? Manchester-based indie developer Badgerhammer sure hopes you do with their new basketball-themed party game, Dunk Dunk, which is being released for the PC and Switch. It is being touted as Smash Brothers meets Rocket League. Play in arenas that defy gravity and physics as unique and quirky characters. If basketball isn't your speed, but horror is, Lost Frame Development might have a thing to scratch your itch. Hallways comes out on PC on Tuesday. This survival horror game sees players having to manage dark and foreboding hallways to stay alive from a foe that uses adaptive AI to ensure that no two interactions are ever the same. Players must manage resources and their senses to survive the night. The cost on launch will be $4.49 with a launch discount at 10 a.m. Pacific. Charles Pava releases their new game, Immortals Must Die. This roguelite indie game has taken 2 years to be finished, and here it is. This cross between Hades and Dead Cells sees players having to deal with hordes of demons while unlocking items and skills, completing quests, and upgrading equipment. Players will be rewarded even in death as they will learn about game mechanics and unlock new items. BAFTA-winning developer The Chinese Room and publisher Secret Mode released narrative horror game Still Wakes the Deep for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Play as protagonist Cameron Casmicleary and survive the unfathomable horror that comes aboard an oil rig in the North Sea. You also have to deal with waves, storms, and electricity and telephonic failures. If horror is up your alley, maybe Troglodytes Games has the remedy for you, as their PC port of their horrific medical management game, The Kinderman Remedy, comes out. The console versions came out in April, and players can guide the titular doctor or his assistant Sister Anna through the game, which is set in a prison. Players can give elixirs and potions to unsuspecting prisoners during the day, whilst conducting twisted experiments on them at night. The price is $7.99. Wild Americas comes out on the PC, Upsetter Studios releases their new third-person adventure shooter into early access. it will be $5. So if you're choosing between gaming and a Subway $5 footlong, choose Wild Americas. It might actually be better and healthier for you. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday, people, we're up to Hump Day. Chromatic Memories releases on PC. Spanish indie studio Perla Oculta releases this new cozy visual novel. It is set in the Canary Islands in the early 2000s, and players must help the protagonist figure out what they were trying to hide from themselves by painting over their memory. Painting over their memory is a key play in this game. Apparently, in this world of 2000s Canary Islands, players can paint over people's memories. Why? I don't know. But it sounds like an interesting thing. There are many memories I wish I could paint over, my teenage years being one of them. You must navigate your memories, reconnect with old friends, collect cell phone numbers, and I guess regular phone numbers because it's the early 2000s, not everybody had a cell phone, and gain new pigments in order to play microgames, all set in an attractive Fauvist art style from the 20th century. This game looks visually appealing. I am a big fan of 20th century modern art. This game scratches my itch for such a, art form. If this game doesn't fascinate you, perhaps Cocoa Cucumbers Echo Generation Midnight Edition, which releases on Switch and PC, might just do it for ya. This re-release of their 2021 game in a remastered version sees new camera controls, combat updates, fast travel, a quest log, and language support, all being the new highlights. Investigate the paranormal occurrences in your small Canadian town with your NPC friends in an homage to 80s and 90s coming-of-age films, and it's all drawn in the Cocoa Cucumber voxel art style. The price for this game will be $24.99. Alright, let's talk about First Dwarf for the PC, PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series X. This early access game sees the best features of colony survival, action RPGs, city builders, and tower defense games combined into one. Play as protagonist True and explore the world of this tiny island he fell on, whilst collecting resources so his friends can join him on this island, also by being aided by the dragoness Ragna. This game will also feature online and local co-op modes, and the demo is available on Steam if you want to give it a try. Alright, let's talk about Into the Emberlands. Publisher Daedalic Entertainment and developer Tiny Roar released this PC game into early access. Players will play as the light bearer guiding Knacks back to their homes, all while collecting resources to rebuild their village. But watch out, as if you lose light from your lantern, which helps guide the Knacks back home, you yourself will become lost and the next light bearer will take your place. This game features a sprawling, procedurally generated world full of small adventures and big surprises, and adds to the replayability of this game. If you like diving, and you like horror, and you like covering up stuff from people, Murky Divers for the PC might just be the game for you. Embers and Oro Interactive release co-op comedy horror game. Players must work together and explore wrecks whilst destroying and covering up the awful and unethical things their lab has been doing. Battle obstacles and dangers ranging from the police to krakens. Let me tell you, I'd rather be dealing with krakens. Neural Shock comes out on the PC. Hardwired Studios release tower defense action RPG games as players have to build and improve turrets, traps, wits, and weapons to cleanse the world of bloodthirsty creatures. A free demo is available. Omega Warp from Brazilian developer Cyan Games comes out for the PC. This new sci-fi action-adventure game sees players explore an interstellar freighter and the mysteries it holds through Metroidvania-style gameplay. If you're a fan of the Alien series or the film Prometheus, this might be for you. Following up with that, let's talk about Smug Marmot Studios, who have bypassed early access and just released their 1.0 alpha 3D action roguelike, The Black Pool, for the PC. Players will have to traverse through randomized and differing galactic worlds in order to find their way back home. It can be played solo, but developers would love you if you played with 3 friends. So if you don't have any friends, or you'd like to make more friends, or you'd like to make more gaming friends, perhaps this is the way to go ahead and do it. You and your friends can travel through 10 unique worlds that consist of 50 unique levels. 80 unique abilities are also included, and they involve 8 elements: fire, ice, wind, light, decay, terror, lightning, and void. There are also 55 enemies, including 11 bosses. Alright, we're moving on to Thursday. Thursday, people, we're almost to the end of the week. City Transport Simulator for PC comes out with the new Tram. View App and Dovetail Games released their new transport sim into early access, where players can play in a fictional German town and pick up NPCs in a true-to-life tram and deliver them on time to their stops, all while gaining experience which will help you grow your business. I've taken a look at this game. The scenery is beautiful. This is a breathtaking game. If you're looking for something more sim-oriented than Crazy Taxi, but you don't have all the time to spend with American Truck Simulator, City Transport Simulator Tram might be for you. Alright, let's talk about HeroCraft PC's new game, Deck of Souls. This new Rogue Souls-esque deck builder is coming out into early access. You can play as 3 different heroes in 3 different chapters with intense replayability against 3 bosses, 55 unique struggles, and 83 nodes that will either lead you to success or failure. Excuse me. Alright, moving on. Game of the week here, people. Game of the week. Drug Dealer Simulator 2 for the PC. Movie Games invites players to get high on their own supplies in their sequel to the 2020 hit game. 3-player co-op, cartel management, and melee combat are just some of the improvements, along with a map 6 times bigger than the original. Play as 6 different characters on 9 different islands in the Isla Sombra, with 10 plus weapons, 40 plus hideouts, and 200 plus quests, as you lie, steal, cheat, and deceive to survive and thrive and become the best drug kingpin in the world. Look out, El Chapo! Drug Dealer Simulator 2. The demo is out now if you want to give it a try. Alright, let's talk about Hexescape Cyber Defense. Clockwork Origins releases their new turn-based strategy game on Linux. Linux, people. Linux. How many times have you seen a Linux game lately? Mac, once again. Really? How many times have you seen a Mac game? PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This turn-based strategy game features an innovative blend of hex grid, world building, and classic tower defense, and it comes out in early access. Players must stop computer viruses. The demo is out now. Alright, this game takes Longest Title of the Week award here, people. Longest Title of the Week. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this. Mushoku Tensei! Jobless Reincarnation Quest of Memories comes out from Bushiroad on PC, PS4, PS5, and Switch. This game is based on the hit anime series Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Quest of Memories. Players can pre-order it now or, wait for it to come out. If the title is as long as the gameplay is, you might have a hit on your hands. Here's another great game coming out this week. Head Up releases Screwdrivers. The Sandbox Racer comes out in early access. And demo will be free, or the game will be free. This is big. A racing game that is free. This piques my interest. But the demo is out now if you don't feel like, downloading the full game for free. Don't know why, but here it is. You can build your own racer and battle other famous racers on the island. Get to it. This game is looking like it'll be a lot of fun. Have you ever wanted to be a bartender? Have you ever wanted to be a bartender in a Dungeons & Dragons map? Well, General Trail and Future Friends games might just have the game for you, as Tavern Talk comes out on the PC and Switch. This cozy visual novel, players will play as bartenders in a TTRPG-style tavern. where they will have to create potions and drinks to aid your patrons on their quests. If you're not sold on that, the demo is available for you to give it a try. Depressing Game of the Week alert! Depressing Game of the Week alert, people. The End of You comes out on PC. This one-person studio, Memory of God, has released their new emotional narrative game. Because you know what I want to do when I come home from a long day at work? I want to sit down in front of this computer and play an emotional narrative game. My whole life is an emotional narrative, and why would I want to play game form when I can just live it? Who knows? Anyway, players can play as Walter, a man who's packing up the objects from a past relationship, all while reliving the past and hopefully finding closure. The developer wanted this to be a one-sit game, so the playtime is less than an hour, and all I can say is, thank the deity you believe in, because I don't know who would ever come back to sit for a second hour or a second playthrough of this. And you know what? If you find yourself feeling emotionally drawn out and worn out, go see the vampire therapist, because, you know, everybody, including vampires, need to talk to people. If that game didn't excite you, perhaps Whacking Hell for the PS4 and PS5 comes out the same day. Sonic Games releases their new roguelite Bullet Heaven game. Slaughter the monsters escaping from hell, capture their souls, and use them to upgrade your weapons and gain skill. If you like beating the ever-living Pap out of hell, this game could be for you, and it might actually take the edge off of The End of You. Alright, moving on to the second place runner-up. Yes, the second place runner-up in the longest title contest. Windstorm, Start of a Great Friendship, Remastered, comes out on the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Mindscape and Acer Interactive, as well as Sleep Runner Studios, have released a remaster of their game based on the Windstorm movies and books. Play as Mika, who is a horse whisperer, and befriend the titular horse to become a racing champion. Upgraded graphics and a new photo mode are the highlights. So hey, horse girls, let me know if this game meets your standards by giving us a yay or a nay in the comments. Finally, rounding out Thursday sees Y-Lands, or I guess it's pronounced Ye-Lands, Nintendo Switch Edition. This game looks exciting. It's an exploratory game released by Bohemia Interactive. It's an open-world adventure game where players, of course, can explore, sail. These boats look amazing. They look like the drawings from Trade Winds. Like, it's unbelievable how good these boats look. I love how these boats look. You can build and you can deal with light survival elements. I've already recommended this to a friend. She seems really excited by it. This game might be the reason I wind up buying a Nintendo Switch. And the game itself will cost $24.99. Alright, we're up to Friday. Friday, finally. TGIF. Alright, for those fans who like FMV games, Clive is a Good Guy comes out on mobile platforms, Android, iOS, and PC. Indolent Games has hired actor Neil Bell, famous for Star Wars Andor and Dune, who stars as a man dealing with reining in his 9 different personalities. Players can pit his personalities against each other in a battle royale. So if you're looking for an FMV mobile game, Clive is a Good Guy. It should be for you. Whether Clive is a good game, I can't tell ya. Another game that really excites me, mainly because I am a fan of 80s 2D shooters, is Megacopter Blades of the Goddess for the PC. Pizza Bear Games are releasing their new 2D Desert Strike-inspired shooter where players can play as Jack Copter. What a great name. I wonder where they got that name. Who joins the goddess-infused Megacopter to defeat the reptilian onslaught led by Jeff. What a great name for a villain, Jeff. Like, it's just a fantastic name. As you're defeating Jeff, you can save the Tri-County area. You will be battling with an 80s synthwave soundtrack behind you. It is inspired by Desert Strike, as well as the 80s hit drama Airwolf, and you'll be fighting in 4 unique biomes and you can gain allies and foes and customize your weaponry. If you enjoy playing on Steam Deck, it is Steam Deck compatible. Dream IRL Game Studio and Pixel Heart release Noria, the Gold Project, which is a dark fantasy Metroidvania for the PC. Players can take part in a frenetic fight between gods and either choose between corrupting gold and purifying light. Pixel art graphics, a skill tree with 53 abilities, 25 monsters, and 12 bosses await players. The price is $27.99 and it'll come out on consoles later this year. $27.99 seems like a high price. Let's see how this game plays out. Alright, legendary developer Atlas is releasing Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance for the PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series X. This remastered version of the game will bring it to more platforms with a brand new story path which invites players to play either the Canon of Vengeance story path or play the original Canon of Creation story path. A new dungeon and map to explore, next-gen visuals and music mix with the tried-and-true Shin Megami Tensei battle system gives a richer experience for players. I'm a big fan of Atlas Games. They are one of the OG game studios, and they created one of my favorite games, GP1, which is a 500cc motorcycle simulator for the Super Famicom. I've also heard of Shin Megami Tensei. It was a popular game, you'd see posters for it at GameStop when I was a teenager. This game absolutely excites me. Moving on here, we got Times and Galaxy from Copy Chaser Games and Fellow Traveler, which is an indie sci-fi adventure game released for the PC, Switch, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Play as the Galaxy's first robo-reporter, chase leads, investigate scenes, conduct interviews, and write stories. If you want to play the demo, it's available on Steam and Switch. Alright, we are up to Saturday. And Saturday sees one of the most exciting games of this week, Beat Hazard 3 PC. Do you like listening to music while you play games? I know I do. Cold Beam Games is releasing a twin-stick shooter that uses your music collection to create the galaxies you fight in. Tear through hordes of enemy fighters whilst your music powers the weaponry. I will probably be playing this game to the Clash's Know Your Rights, because guess what? These aliens have the right not to be killed, and murder is a crime, except when you're invading the galaxy. Or, if you're a diplomat, know your rights. These are your rights. Rounding it off for Sunday sees Blade Jumper come out for Switch. CFK has released their Switch port of their 2022 PC game set in a futuristic Seoul, 15 years after a pandemic of depression hits the city. Players will have to fight their way up a tower to save the entirety of this futuristic Seoul, and a new jumping mechanic adds to the fun of navigating this tower and its obstacles, as players jump, attack, and slash to save the inhabitants of this place. Players must have their timing down pat in order to play this game properly. Alright, with all the games taken care of, let's talk about some other news that is coming out this week. If you have AEW Fight Forever, you can now get the Rated Gold Superstar Pack for $9.99. This pack features the wrestler Adam Copeland, a Haunted Forest map, 30 new skins, and 7 new moves. It can be purchased as part of the $19.99 Season 4 Pass or as part of the $99.99 Ultimate Edition. If you're a fan of wrestling or a fan of wrestling in a haunted forest, this could be for you. Gameforge, the developer of Nostale, have announced that their Act 9 Part 2 of this anime MMORPG is coming out. This act is titled Heroes of the Undercity. Players will be able to delve deeper into the underground world, uncovering further mysteries and embarking on a raid with intense combat. There will be new specialists for each class, reworked martial artist weaponry, and quality of life updates. So, if you're into anime, you're into MMORPGs, and this game interests you, play the whole game. Get to, Act 9, Part 2, and see how it plays out. This next bit of news is like really cool and really exciting, and I'm really fascinated by it as a fan of racing games. Tuxedo Labs and their game Teardown. If you haven't seen this game, it's visually exciting. It looks kind of like Minecraft, but you can destroy way more things with it. I absolutely love watching playthroughs of this game because it's always fascinating to see what players do. They're releasing the new Folk Race DLC pack. This Folk Race is a Scandinavian amateur motorsport in which drivers, mainly young people, buy not very nice Volvos and Saabs and customize them to be able to race around like rallycross tracks. And the object is that the motorsport is supposed to be affordable, so you don't want to dump too much money into these cars because they do have an auction system in this sport where if somebody likes your car and can put a bid on it, they can just take your car. That probably won't happen in this game, as players will be competing against AI, and the pack comes with 3 new maps, and you can gain cash to upgrade your vehicles as you slug it out in elimination rounds and rally arenas. This pack will be free to anybody who has the Season Pass Deluxe Edition or Ultimate Edition, or can be purchased separately for $7.99. Alright, so that's what's happening this week in the world of gaming. Look, I really do appreciate everybody, checking this video out. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. We're doing gameplay videos, we're doing a lot of stuff to make this channel really work, and, I'm really grateful for anybody who stops by and, watches this video. So, really, thank you so much for joining me for 27 minutes. My name is Jack Coburn. This has been an Alsatian production. We'll see you next week. Get out there and game.